This week has been the week of Chris Hansen on this channel. Ever since Monday began, we've just been blowing Chris out the water. It's been well established that this guy's like a grifter. He's just not in these situations like the Onision story and the Davi Vanity story for the right reasons. John Swan's got a whole documentary coming out explaining that into more detail, but, I mean, anybody can look at Chris Hansen with their own eyes, and, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that this guy is just full of shit. He's obviously just jumping onto these cases to make a buck, to pay his $1 million plus debt, while selling these false promises to these girls, you know, telling them like, oh, don't worry, we've got this epic investigation going on Davi Vanity and Onision, and don't, dude, trust me, I work with the FBI, so 1000%, we got it all solved, and then nothing happens. He just brings girls on, he brings random people on that have no reason to be on his show, just to talk about the subject for an hour while nothing actually productive gets done. And then, of course, he had the balls this week to take a shot at me, personally. He did a whole stream talking about how toxic and hateful my show is, RFC After Hours. And, yeah, I mean, look, we've already responded to it for 4 hours long. You can go check that out. I did a podcast yesterday with, Mudahar, Edwin, Creepshow Art, I think, we did another show on Monday too, where Repsound and Repzilla were there. Like, basically the whole gang, the whole group was there to react to it and to respond to it. And, yeah, it's been one hell of a week. Just, it's just sitting there, just clapping Chris Hansen's cheeks over and over again. Like, every day he does something and we're just like, let's get in there! Anyway, on a more serious note, one of the girls that's been on Hansen's show that's related to the Onision side of the story came out and just exposed Chris Hansen. If you don't know, Hansen's apparently sold data from the Onision story to a TV network to get a TV series on this, and it was met with a lot of criticism. People were like, wait a minute, so you brought these girls on to ask them questions and to conduct interviews and, you know, gather information on the case just to make a TV series? Like, I thought we were focused on the investigation to, you know, pin this guy down and get him locked up and get him exposed and get him to admit to heinous crimes or whatever. Why are you making this a TV show now? And Hansen had come out with a tweet where he said, like, no, I'm not selling the story. That's not happening. And the girls are fully aware of what's going on. And we'll take a look at that tweet in just a moment, just to kind of see what he said when he was really getting cooked for that, when he was getting a lot of pressure for that. But just now, a girl who's been on Chris Hansen came out with a tweet where she revealed some things about Chris Hansen that he probably wouldn't like you guys to know about. So what do you say we take a look at this? Now, this tweet is now deleted. However, I still have it saved just because I have the webpage and I haven't hit refresh yet. She writes, I probably won't keep this up for very long. I want to move on, and I don't want to speak on it further than this. I'm just trying to clear the air. Thank you for listening. I love my friends very much, and I just want them to be left alone about this. In the post, she writes, I was going to stay silent because talking about all of this brings me a lot of stress that I truly don't need right now, but I'm realizing that seeing all the lies and rumors flying around stresses me out more. Chris Hansen is not a good guy. He had been talking to ID about a show without any of us knowing for literally 6 months. Chris's concern is Chris alone. He is trying to bring his career back to TV and, in my opinion, is using the victims to do it. He has been hella pushing contracts for ID without considering anyone's feelings on it. My hope in him is lost, and I'm sad, but I can't justify this man's actions anymore. He has shown where his priorities lie. As everyone stands, there will be no show with Sarah, Billy, Lane, Isla, or myself. If anyone else wants to do it, that's up to them and not my business. Quite frankly, a lot of us would like our interviews removed, but I doubt Chris will do that. Some of the anti-Os have been very vocal against certain YouTubers like Edwin, John Swan, Creepshow, Tamimi, and some others. Let me just say, while some of those people come on strong, they are not wrong when they talk about Chris. Watching you all advocate for Chris is disheartening considering what I know. I know you can't help it because how can you know if no one says anything? Well, now I'm saying something. We're all trying to move on with our lives. Sarah's doing well, she's happy, Billy is traveling and just trying to live her life carefree, Isla is trying to expand her OnlyFans, Lane is trying to de-stress as much as possible, and I am starting a family. The FBI still has the laptop. If they feel that there is enough evidence on that laptop to arrest Greg and Kai, then they will. With or without ID doing a show. For now, I'm just happy that Kai is off the internet and Greg has no other options left. We started this with hashtag #WeStandWithSarah, and that is how it will stay. Holy shit, guys. I don't know if you guys realize just how big of an admission this really is. And by the way, this is not the only girl who has come out and you know, basically outed Chris Hansen for his bullshit. I do know of another girl, but I'm not going to say her name because I don't think that that's exactly public information yet. But I'm just saying that just to add credence to what she's saying, so you guys just aren't like, whatever, who believes her? You know, I'm just saying, like, I believe what she's saying right now because I have reason to. Now, for context to good old Chris Hansen, this is a video he made a week ago clarifying that the girls were all in on what he was doing. Of course, we know now that this is allegedly a lie, but let's hear what he had to say back then.
Hey everyone, I thought I'd take a quiet moment today to talk about some of the drama playing out on social media surrounding a potential television project on the Onision investigation. Let me be very, very clear here. Anyone that is suggesting that such a project would take place without the consideration of, the consultation with, or the participation of the victims in this case is either ill-informed, lying to you, or more likely trying to gin up drama for their own selfish reasons to promote their own drama channels.
That sounds a lot like what Onision would say, you know? Like, Onision always is like, those drama channels, those hateful channels, they're just using my name for money. That's literally what Onision has said before, and that's what Chris is saying now. I'm just pointing that out there, since a lot of these people like to say, oh, you sound a lot like Greg right now. I don't know, Hansen sounds the most like Greg right now, if you're asking me.
I have had, over the past several weeks, discussions about a television project on the Onision case. The victims are in the loop, always will be. I'll be doing interviews with them if such a project takes place. Again...
Really? Because that doesn't sound like what Haylee said. She said, let's see right here, he'd been talking about idea about a show without any of us knowing for literally 6 months. So either she's lying or Hansen is lying. And given Hansen's extensive backlog for lying, I'm willing to believe the latter on this one, guys. That Chris Hansen is saying some bullshit. But let's keep listening.
A lot of this noise is merely drama. I got into the Onision investigation because, quite frankly, you all asked me to do it. We've done multiple shows on it.
You got into it to line your pockets. Just be honest. Be completely honest with your motives.
We've done interviews with victims, law enforcement, people who know about the case. There is now a federal and a local investigation. We're going to stay on this, but television has the potential to take this to a wider audience and to increase the potential that we will see justice here. There's nothing wrong with that. I get that a lot of you think that YouTube and social media is the only way to go. I see it a little differently. Please respect that. I've also been asked to look into the Davi Vanity case.
So, Chris Hansen thinks that more eyes on the project will increase the odds of justice being served. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter if 100,000 people are following the story or if suddenly 50 million people are watching the story. If all of America knows about Onision and is tuning in every night to see Chris Hansen on TV talk about Onision to, you know, the 330 million Americans that watch TV or whatever the fuck, like, that doesn't change anything. Just because more people know about a story doesn't mean that the odds of justice being served are going to increase. That logically makes no sense.
Which I have done, am doing, and will continue to do so. The victims will always come first. Always, always, always. So please know that, and put that in your formula when you consider whose motives are what as this social media debate continues. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, fuck you, Hansen. I called this on my Twitter today, actually. I tweeted something, if I can pull it up live on the spot here. I said, Chris Hansen spent more time talking about us yesterday than the victim's experience with Davi Vanity. His show yesterday was split in half of it being about Davi Vanity and this girl, Noah Ray, who had called in, and then the other half being on the toxic YouTube drama channels, aka me. Instead of being a 50-50 split, though, it was way more focused on my show than Davi Vanity, which I think is more reflective of Chris Hansen's overall motives with this whole situation. He's here to keep his image intact and to line his pockets, And the victims are, the secondary problem on his mind. What Chris Hansen has been doing recently, he has been making himself synonymous with the victims. I made this point last time on my live stream, but he is aligning himself with the victims so that if you are team victim, you are in support of these girls and you want justice being served, you must also by proxy be supporting Chris Hansen as well, and therefore vice versa. If anybody calls out Chris Hansen, they're also against the girls, and if you're against the girls, then you're supporting the predators that lurk in the entertainment industry. Chris Hansen moves in a very strategic way, but unfortunately for him, I'm not dumb enough to fall into his trap. I can see obviously what he's doing. It makes perfect sense to me what he's doing. To be quite honest, it's disgusting and dehumanizing. I'm glad more people are beginning to see Chris Hansen for who he is, and I look forward to watching John Swan's documentaries where he goes into more detail about what I'm saying. But it is good to see Haylee speak out about this and really expose Chris Hansen, because this is information that needs to get out there. Women need to know that, if they want to get their stories of sexual abuse out there, going to Chris Hansen is like poison for their case. If they go to Chris Hansen, nothing of value is going to be accomplished, and they're just going to be speaking, which is not what you want to do when you're in a legal case or seeking justice. You want to be quiet and let the professionals do their job, aka the lawyers and the people that, the actual people who are trained to deal with these types of situations. Not Chris Hansen, some TV journalist reject hack who's just looking to, again, line his own pockets. That's all I've got for you guys today. My name's AllYearFC, and I'll catch you guys later, everyone. Peace out.